Hello, I'm Ayan Khan, and today we're going to be studying about joint and union probabilities. So, I was a sophomore at Schaumburg High School, and I was a national math league competitor at MathCon 2025. And MathCon is basically an event that happens every year, and it welcomes all high schoolers, middle schoolers, and elementary schoolers from the US and Canada to compete at MathCon. Plus, I'm a academic tryhard because I'm literally a straight A student, and I'm currently and a future AP or advanced placement math student. Next year, junior year, I'm going to be taking AP Calculus AB. I'm going to be taking AP Stats senior year. Earlier this year, I took AP Computer Science Principles. Next year, I'm going to be taking AP Computer Science A. So, what are joint and union probabilities? Joint probabilities are probabilities and that deal with two or more events happening at the same time. So what they basically tell you is the probability of both or all the events in have mentioned happening all at the same time. That you can consider them as AND probabilities, because the formula for a joint probability is literally probability of A and B equals to probability of A times probability of B. On the other hand, union probabilities, also known as OR probabilities, is the probability of at least one event happening among all the other events mentioned in the problem. So, the equation for finding union probability is probability of A or B equals to probability of A plus B, and that sum minus probability of A and B. And for a side note, both of these can deal with two or more probabilities. I just use two probabilities to make it easier for you all to understand. Also, as you can see in this picture, and or are represented by these weird U's. And is basically an inverted capital U, and union or is basically a capital U, as you can see in this picture. So here's an example problem. So the probability of event A is 0.3, probability of event B is 0.65, and probability of event C occurring is the 0.05. So I want you to find the probability of all events happening at the same time, and I also want you to find the probability of at least one of the events happening among all three. So you can use this picture from earlier just as a hint, and I'll give you a few seconds to pause and look at the problem and see if you can figure it out. So now let's look at the solution. So for the first part, the probability of all events happening at the same time will be represented by a joint probability, because a joint probability is the probability of all events mentioned happening at the same time. So this will look something like probability A and B and C equals to probability of A times probability of B times probability of C. Probability of A is 0.3, probability of B is 0.65, and probability of C is 0.05. You just multiply all three together. That gives you 0.00975. This is the answer for the first part. And now for the second part, we are dealing with a union probability, because we want to know the probability of at least one event happening among all three events. So this will look something like the sum of probability of A, probability of B, and probability of C all summed up together, and that sum will be subtracted by the probability that we calculated earlier, which is probability of A and B and C, which was 0.00975. So we add 0.3 plus 0.65 plus 0.05 together, which gives us 1, and then we subtract 1 from 0.00975, which was the joint probability we calculated earlier. And the answer is 0.99025. So if you're still stuck, if you want practice, or if you are fascinated by probabilities and you want to learn more, and if you also want to get straight A's in your math class, just as I got, and so scan this. Plus, if you are too lazy to scan this, then I have the link in the description below. You can just go check that link out. And basically, this QR code and the link will lead you to a book that has helped me immensely in getting straight A's in my probability unit of pre-calculus. The name is Probability by Dummies, and you can just scan the QR code or click the link in the description below, and it will lead you to the product. So go buy it, because it's very extremely helpful, and it's only costing $15. Plus, this book can be used by you in the future if you plan on going to fields like science or any field, basically, because probabilities are very useful. Anyways, scan this QR code or check the link in the description below, and I hope you all understood really well union and joint probabilities. Now, I hope you have a good day, and goodbye.